Washington Justice.
Washington having a tough start to the season, but ending strong. They're looking to make this stage a different one than previously. Arc joining the roster here. Going to make it a lot easier to have communication between the Korean and Western sides of the roster. Help to break through that language barrier. It's a tall order to defeat the Defiant tonight. You know, and if they could do it, I think a lot of people will be shocked, but we will have to rethink their place in Stage 2 if they make it happen. Here are our starting six. Arc, the man himself, will be in the lineup.
Yeah, so straight up just going to be joining in with this squad. We'll see how practiced they are and whether or not they can take down their opponents. Let's bring them on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, give a warm welcome to the Toronto Defiant.
I think the name of Defiant has been fitting for this roster. They just had, I think many analysts had low expectations for them, but they came into playoffs. They came in strong. They were defeated by Shock, who went all the way to the grand finals, right? So yeah, I think we still have to rate this team highly. We still have to remember that this team did perform well, had an incredible 5-2 record coming out of Stage 1, and they come to this match thinking probably this is going to be a 4-0.
Yeah, they want to be able to think depth. The addition of Arc coming in, a bit of a shift in the meta. We are seeing a lot more DPS heroes coming through. Defiant, are they going to be as practiced at that with the departure of Stellar?
Now, Asher will be starting in this lineup, I believe, the first time this season with Stellar gone, so big shoes to fill here. Stellar, you know, very short-lived time in the Overwatch League, but as you mentioned, you and I definitely spent a lot of time casting him. But Arc, you know, going from a top 2 team in the standings to down and a 1-6 team, it's going to feel like a struggle to get into things you have to imagine at the beginning of this stage. But this is a player who's extremely talented. He's got a long-standing history in the Overwatch League as well as previously in Apex. Great Mercy player. That's what he was most known for at the beginning of Overwatch League. But we know his Lucio is stellar as well. He's a player that has the ability to shot call and talk in 2 languages because he is bilingual. And this is what we're thinking is going to be the reasoning behind this pickup of Arc for the Justice. And it's going to be, you know, for him, a long road to get back to 2nd place, but it is doable.
Well, it seems like the fans are very much in support of Arc here on this stage. He seems like he's also in high spirits, got smiles going through. Let's go ahead and see where these guys are going to be headed, though, as we take a look at the map set presented by Toyota. Kicking things off on Control, going to be Oasis, followed up by Hanamura for Assault, then Blizzard World, and we'll round things out with Junkertown, the Bastion Playground.
Yeah, Blizzard World going to be, I think, my most interesting map that I'm looking forward to in this 4-map set, because we'll see how the meta affects it, because we haven't seen it a whole lot, obviously, in Overwatch League since last season. Heading into Oasis as well here for our Control map. A lot of open space, a lot of potential to see Pharah compositions, but we're not seeing a ton of that right now on Control compared to what a lot we're expecting. And for the start here, it looks like we will see some Zarya compositions coming out. And it's going to be the Moira variation for both of these squads.
Yeah, so going back to the OG, but Winston's on either side, so that's going to be the only variant from the original GOATs.
Right.
Pushing forward there on the low ground, the Justice up above the Toronto Defiant, poking him out. Trying to build up where possible. See if Arc can maybe get into a position trying to knock them and disrupt them off this high ground to pick somebody off. For now, Gido doing a pretty good job of building up the Coalescence. Already going to be about 50%. The point now going to be unlocked. Toronto Defiant starting to get the cap. Justice not yet committing to a fight yet. Will now start to go for the engage. Giannis nearly getting booped off the high ground, but Toronto Defiant have been displaced for the moment. And Ivy trying to duke it out with Corey. Both Zaryas going dangerously low, but Corey taking the brunt of the damage, does peel further back, and that's going to allow for the cap to come through for the Toronto Defiant. But now it's going to be a Coalescence coming in for Gido. Arc getting stunned up, but managing to stay alive as he gets the armor pack coming through from Otto, but the Justice do pull away.
It's rough to use your Coalescence and not gain a flip from it. They took more damage, so they had more healing from Gido. That's why they got it first, but now Neko has the defensive one, and it's going to get more value in these chokes.
Yeah, Coalescence going to be coming back through, locking him up here with that Graviton Surge. Giannis going to be popping that primal range, but Sunsum's already been taken out of the fight, but they do manage to trade one back in as Gido picks off Ivy, so now that high damage dealing Zarya is not going to be in the mix of things for the Defiant. They're still trying to maintain control. Transcendence. Transcendence. It's not even in the game right now. Sound barrier. Remain, rather. Was used. Yakpung to still playing forward up into the choke. Primal Rage ready to roll. Will go ahead and pop things. Just trying to get these supports off the point. Putting Gido in a corner. Not going to be able to get the kill. That healing from the Coalescence coming through onto the Moira will keep him sustained. But Asher gets taken down in the meantime. Now Envy stunned up. Knocked out of the mech. Sansam comes up with that kill. Yakpung going to be taken down the front line for the Toronto Defiant. Getting shattered. And that should be the flip coming through for the Justice. About 60% or so for Toronto.
And the big thing, too, that the Justice get from this flip is not only is it fairly early, given Toronto's staggered ultimates, very nice defense for the Defiant, but also they get to hold this grab that Corey has now. Triple the ult charge of Ivy right now, and that grab is going to be something they could use to control this choke point on the next approaching push. As you pointed out earlier, there's no Zenyatta to be found here, so countering the Graviton Surge is just so incredibly difficult. You know, so this ultimate is the key to holding more than 30% here.
Bubbles coming through from the Winstons right here onto the pillar in the center of the map. Graviton Surge comes through, bombs into the back from Sansam, looking for the picks, and he's going to find two. Asher and Ivy both going to be taken down. Aid just trying to escape with his life, but will be unable to do so. Gido able to hound him down. Find a nice little kill there to build up for that next Coalescence. So maintaining control at the moment is the Justice, 40% coming in.
Textbook, you know, combo there with the grab into the self-destruct, easily set up. Corey knew that with no way to shut down this Graviton Surge. It's super easy to hold this. Now, this next push is the one that's really important for the fight. They need to get a pick here to start this off.
Yeah, diving in, taking Neko dangerously low. Does manage to stay alive for a little bit longer. Giannis just going to be kiting his way back over onto the point. The safety of the rest of the squad. Coalescence expiring now from Gido. Neko tries to build up for that Transcendence. Closer and closer.
High ground here is huge for the Defiant. There's the grab.
Yeah, grab going to be coming in. Bomb going to be thrown in. Not quite as deep as they might have liked, but Heavy's still going to manage to find two. Arc and Sansa both picked off. As Neko was able to get the T-Mech there. That will be the cleanup. As Defiant will go ahead and flip this point.
We had a very brief shot of Ark's first-person view, and he wasn't able to contest the high ground, nor was Samsam, and that's why the Defiant were able to place that grab in such a way that it could set up for the big bomb coming through for Envy. They also were able to maximize damage that way up on the high ground, and now the Justice approach with that Graviton Surge, but this time Neko's here with the Zenyatta. He swapped heroes, he has the Transcendence available, so this isn't going to be the walk up, get the grab you want, and walk away with the point push that we saw previously.
Yeah, which means that Gido is just that much further behind as well as he has swapped over, 30% getting ready to come through. Transcendence actually going to be starting things off from Neko as they push forward, not waiting for the grab. Now it's going to be coming through. A back cap is happening at the same time. Gido will still get taken down, but can Toronto maintain control of the point here? Aid going to be eliminated as Corey manages to find that kill. Honest with the Primal Rage trying to stay alive. Bomb comes out from Sansam. Not going to find a pick this time, but they have to be in onto the point right now. Do the Justice. Sansam going to be contesting this one. Can't take away the grab with the D-Matrix. Gets popped out and eliminated. Corey playing around the side, but getting focused, taking a lot of damage. And it seems like Toronto Defiant, despite the early Transcendence from Neko, they will be able to maintain control. You just have to finish off a few members of the Washington Justice to close out Garden.
We're seeing a huge shift right now. And utilizing Transcendence. It used to be a lot of teams would wait for the grab and then trance and hope that that healing is enough to withstand, you know, that moment where everyone's locked into one place and they're taking massive damage. What a lot of teams are doing right now, and a lot of teams are starting to figure out, is how to engage off of the point, instead utilize Transcendence to get into a favorable position. Then even if the grab hits, you can take a fight on your terms away from the point, so contesting is very difficult, especially when you're up at 90+%. We saw the back cap attempted there for the Justice, but that made the fight that they took outside a 6v5 for the Defiant. Then they could collapse back onto the point. Really like the shot calling that we saw from the Defiant there to identify in that moment that it was better to use the trance first, and it works out very well for Neko in this case. We're going to see the Pharah that we were just alluding to previously here in the Pharah versus Pharah, and Asher with the answering soldier. So advantage in terms of heroes here for the Defiant.
Yeah, gonna be that 2-2-2, but oh man, Ivy just gonna be getting the direct hits in onto Otto. Good luck getting that res off, Gido. Might not even be given the opportunity, might not want to go for it. Sansam also gonna be taken down by Asher. Now Gido eliminated, so the first cap gonna be rolling through for the Defiant as they retreat back over to the point.
Ivy was the projectile specialist back in Korea on both the Genji and the Pharah, also occasionally the Junkrat he would pull out. towards the end of his time before moving to the Defiant, but he's a fantastic Pharah. He duels Otto here. And
that wasn't much of a duel.
You know, it's always fun to see Otto on DPS as well. It's been a while.
They caught him sleeping is basically what just happened there.
Well, this is a good matchup for the Defiant because they have long-range damage with this Soldier.
Oh.
As you can see.
Gone again! Sansam as well, taking a lot of damage there. With that Sombra, has to peel off the high ground. Corey does open things up. Double pulse bomb, gets rid of the pharmacy comp. Bit of a rare occurrence there. Manages to find those picks with the Tracer, but will that transition into a cap onto the point? Time will tell. Gido's going in for the pile driver, but now Corey going to be finished off, so it seems like the answer might just be no in the end.
The Sombra here hasn't been able to build an EMP. Will be able to get out. Sansam does escape, but that's something that they were really banking on. It does not happen. We're going to take a look at this pulse bomb. Nicely done by Corey. It's not enough in the end to flip the point.
He's got him on the wall, too.
Impressive, different mechanical skill that we're used to seeing from Corey on the Zarya. But the Justice are also missing tankiness here. You know, they only have one tank, that they don't have any disruption until this EMP is ready, and they're losing a lot of time.
It's rough so far. Trying to get the hack there onto Ivy.
Wishful
Drop him
thinking.
out of the sky.
Really wishful thinking to think you're going to get that one.
Well, Giannis, that's pretty wishful as well. Gets a kill on a Neko with a minefield. Taking him out. Yakpong going to be taken down with that primal rage available. They've been hacked out by Sansam. Ivy still playing forward onto the point, however. Building up, Barrage about to be online. 8 manages to get that res onto Yakpong, putting him back into the fight, but Asher taken down with attack visor. Barrage finally going to be dropped in. Nothing mitigated, but Otto comes in from behind. Dumps a couple rockets on the back of his skull, and that's going to be Ivy knocked out of the park. This will be a flip coming through for the Washington Justice, so no 100-0, it would seem, here on City Center.
Yeah, very nice decision-making by Sansam. There were a few opportunities to EMP, but he knew how long it took him to build it previously. And that's the real win condition for the Justice now, is to somehow get value out of EMP and Barrage together. They've saved it long enough to where this is an option, and that is what they need. If they can win this next fight, we're looking at a world where they can flip the ult economy on its head. They're going to have to deal with Asher's attack visor as well, so Otto cannot die.
Well, Sansam going to be using the EMP, catches 4 members on the side of the Toronto Defiant, but no one going to be taken down.
I don't know about this usage here.
Yeah, and now that's going to be Giannis, too far forward, isolated, gets eliminated. Defiant start working their way up. Yakpong playing on the low ground at the moment. Bomb going to be launched in the back. Envy looking for a pick, trying to find one of the members of the pharmacy comp. Unable to do so, but Yakpong will get Sansam. Further delaying that next EMP. Cap nearly rolling through. Washington Justice finally pushed back over. Arc has to use the sound barrier. Only finds 3, however. Pulse bomb out. Asher going to be safe. Barrage coming in. He flips up to the skies. Manages to find the kill, and now the attack visor is going to be drawn out. He's a push around the other side of the pillar to find a target. It seems like he won't be able to do so, but the flip is still going to be there. 99%. They tag in. They force out the OT. Washington Justice desperately need to get this flip to try to tie things up on Oasis, so they can go to that 3rd and final round of University. Giannis pushing forward, looking for a pile driver, unable to find it. Just rolls his way to the back of the point, just trying to stay alive. Several members going low on the side of the Defiant, but Sansam and Arc going to be taken down. Ivy with a sliver of HP, Yakpong as well, falling low, but it seems like they're going to be okay. The healing starts rolling through from Aid and Neko, and this OT bar is going to plummet as soon as they can get the few remaining members of the Justice off that point.
You know, when you're talking about Soldier here versus the Sombra, so much more utility versus a Soldier 76 is going to give you. We saw one EMP, it was ill-timed and ill-placed, and Asher gets so much out of this. He shuts down the Pharah multiple times. We see Ivy win the Pharah v Pharah matchup, and that's all it takes to have Defiant close this one out.
Well, nice start for the Toronto Defiant. Let's see if the Justice can fire back as we move to Assault when we come back.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Welcome to Assist of the Week, presented by State Farm. The Vancouver Titans were looking to close out a clean 4-0 against the Seoul Dynasty on Rialto. Now, all Zarya players know the frustration of ulting into a diva, so Bumper earth shatters her to the ground. Somunsu follows up with the Graviton Surge on the entire team, and this sets up Janu for the dunk from behind.
The self-destructive net is a great knockback to set up the triple kill for Janu there. Vancouver Titans again just instantly eliminating Seoul.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Toronto Defiant able to kick things off with a fairly clean victory on Oasis, moving up 1-0 in the set. Washington Justice will get an opportunity to bounce back as we get ready to move into Assault.
We have to remember that ARC cannot fix this team in a day, in a week, and in a month, and it's going to take time for communication to really come online here. He was a piece of a very well-oiled machine that was New York Excelsior, and now he's moved into a team that's had issues, had struggles, and it will take time to kind of figure out how he even fits into the team. Even though he is bilingual, just putting him on this starting roster is alone not going to suddenly make the Washington Justice a top 5 team.
Well, Hanamura will be the staging ground here for either a tie-up if Justice can find a victory, or match point to be forced out if Toronto walk away with a win here. Let's see what happens as we get ready to jump in. This is where Mayhem started looking alive, so maybe this is where the Justice kind of come into their own.
Certainly could be, and they look to emulate what we saw from Florida earlier with the Bastion, Orisa, and Otto will be playing once again the Pharah. The most common response right now to this in Overwatch League and, you know, just in pro play in general has been...
position.
No, it's in fact the Hanzo response. What is the attacking team? You have to scout this out first. Yeah, the fetal position maybe in ranked games.
Yeah,
but
it certainly is.
But you're gonna want to, a lot of teams build the Hanzo ult and then break this bunker with that. Alternatively, you can take a different approach, and that's what the Definer are gonna do with the Sombra. Try to EMP your way. Well, that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
But you can try to EMP your way into breaking this setup. It's gonna be a long time before that's ready, though, with Envy dying this early. It doesn't even build 20% on his first life here of the Sombra, so back to the drawing board here, back to their spawn. And right now, Ivy's just trying to break this barrier so they can otherwise build charge.
Well, they come up so quickly. We'll just have that next one coming in. Almost got the pick off there onto Corey, but does manage to stay alive. Set up again. Into the back of the point at the moment. It's going to be Yakpung here with the wrecking ball. They're getting a tick for free, so already solid start. Otto, however, going to be able to pick off Asher. Ivy nearly eliminated. Needs to get some healing, and needs it right now.
The tick is nice, but the key here really for this composition is building that EMP.
Ivy going to be sniped out of the sky there by Corey. Preparing himself, wrapping around the back side of the point.
This is not going to be the the push that breaks this, but it's going to be the reason why this composition is so strong is because it takes away so much of the time bank. Like eventually that EMP will be ready, right? Envy's just hiding. He's going to build some of this charge. He's going to get a hack off. There's potential to get a kill and grab it, but that's not what you're thinking of as your plan.
Oh, really good immortality field, keeping Corey alive. He'll push into the back. Making better of that mega pack, wants to be able to give some healing and make the charge over to his healers rather. Nearly get that second tick. We'll be rolling through now with 2:20 remaining on the clock, halfway to that third and final. Sunsum going to be picked off. Otto managed to find Ivy, but can they get over onto the point in time? Gianna's finally going to be pushing forward. Gets the barrier thrown down. Configuration tank going to be brought out by Corey. Snipes out Neko, looking for a little bit more. Envy going low. Will get taken down. Double kill over to him. Make it a triple. His aid will also be eliminated. And they will actually hold this off 99%.
99. So very close call. The Justice barely tagging on in time. Being a little bit slow to adapt to that rotation around. But this is the push they've been waiting for. EMP and Barrage online. You delete the shields. Stop the immortality field. If you hit it while it's out, you have to bait it out first, then use the barrage. This bunker composition will fall to pieces if they can execute this correctly. Here's the EMP.
Yeah, EMP does come in, catches a lot of the members here. Immortality field helping to keep us alive for a little bit longer. Otto with the barrage manages to find Ivy. Neko will finally snipe out that immortality field. Rocket's still going to be coming through, pushing forward. Otto by Neko, but takes a little bit of damage and has to peel his way back now, trying to offer some suppressing fire for that Bastion up onto the high ground as they try to stay alive. Giannis still eliminated, but the res does manage to come through, so Arc puts him back into the fight, and Corey gets Asher. So things still looking very good for the Justice at the start of this defense.
Yeah.
A minute remaining on the clock. Actually, for Toronto Defiant, they have to make something happen right now. The EMP was not enough. Envy nearly has another one. It's the second time the charm.
That's the thing is, even with the EMP, they don't have a barrage anymore. It's very difficult to see a win condition with the tools they have left here. And there's no time to build a barrage. This EMP has to be it. It has to be.
Well, that's going to be Envy taken down by Gido. Now Sansam going to be eliminated. Yakpung knocking him off. Manages to find that one with a roll. Corey trying to stay alive. Giannis is here, sliver of HP remaining, but actually the point is going to be taken by the Toronto Defiant. So 4 minutes, 25 seconds on the clock as they start pushing forward.
Yeah, Yakpung was the real hero here. He's swung around and got those kills in ball form. And now they've got the EMP for B. And now this is actually potentially a double cap if it's utilized correctly. It's terrifying right now. Gido.
EMP going to be throwing down, catches 4 members, including Arc. He's going to be going low. Otto going to be eliminated first as Ivy finds the kill. Sunsum going to be popped out of the mech. It's only going to be Neko on the exchange so far. They need a lot more than that if the Justice want to hold on. Arc goes forward, manages to get the res, putting the farm back in the mix, and Corey comes up with a kill on Asher. Now the barrage out from Ivy. Takes up Gido, but Otto is there again to take him down to the back of the barrage.
Now this is a moment where you're a little bit panicked as Justice. Gido got hacked there. The EMP was solid. But overall, they survive again. Close call. And now the Defiant have to switch composition. You know, they could stick with what they were running before because they had the EMP available. Asher's now going to swap over to the Soldier. And we will see Envy on the Diva. This Valkyrie here can give them a chance to win a longer fight and perhaps get Asher into perfect position here. The ideal place for a Soldier to be is up on this high ground, taking free pot shots. He can either go left to flank, or he can go up the staircase. He is going to take that flanking position. Corey's trying to find him right now.
Almost had a headshot there onto Yakpung. Doesn't want to play up onto the high ground because he knows that the dive potential from Toronto at the moment would just absolutely crush him. Already has to pull his way back as Yakpung moves over towards that spawn.
Asher, free reign here on the high ground. This is a very powerful place to be as a Soldier.
Ivy in a decent spot, but he's going to be hitting the ground for the moment. Manages to get the kill there onto Gido. Sliver of HP, but seems like he will get topped back up by Neko and Aid. Another Neto boost going to be online. Holding onto it for the moment. Neko going lower. We'll just go ahead and invest that one. Ivy still playing up above. Moves away from that self-destruct, not going to get caught out. Corey going to be taken down by Neko. They're in onto the point, trying to take their way up. A couple members blocking them up. Barrage in the back. Ivy finding a kill there onto Gido. Pushes his way out with the concussive blast. Stays alive. And now they are entrenched. They are looking to get the finish here. With a couple of minutes remaining in the time bank. Second tick rolling through. Can anyone stop this? Wrecking ball going to be coming out from Corey. Adaptive shield going to be popped. Rocket still raining down from above. Ivy trying to find the kill. Unable to do so, but they force Corey back. They're still taking their way up now. The mate joining in from Arc. So this might just be a matter of time, but with a kill on the Yakpung, this could be the turnaround that Washington Justice desperately need. Transcendence going to be used by Gido, keeping everybody else topped up. They dive into the back, straight here into the main entrance. Giannis going to be slept, but can they even kill him off? Do they have the damage? Leaves back over onto the front. He's actually going to survive.
Sansum with the D-Matrix there makes sure that he gets out safe. Toronto Defiant were once again so close, but they just can't close it out. Now, you know, Asher is going to struggle to get on the high ground. He had that position up there. He was doing massive damage. We saw even Giannis commit the primal to try to kill him. We saw Tracer chasing up there. Corey's trying to get him, and nobody can kill him. And Defiant almost wins off that pressure drawn to the Soldier alone. Now he's got the tac visor, but getting up this staircase is way easier said than done. And he's actually just going to perhaps flank again.
Pushing his way aggressively forward, but it's going to cost him. Envy does manage to come up with a kill there without the wince, and the Primal Rage was on the way. Speaking of which, Yakpung going to be popping his own, smacking the members of Justice off the point to try to continue ticking up there at 97.1% at the moment. Nearly able to finish this one off. Otto going to be taken down with the Bionade from Neko. Now Sansum going to be dead as he tries to dump in the bomb. Will not be able to find a pick, so good takeaway from Asher there. They need a lot more than that. Another barrage going to be coming through. Ivy looking for a second target as Corey will be taken down. Primal Rage comes in from Giannis as he tries to drag things back, regain some control here on the point, but now he's going to be finished off. Asher with the Soldier 76 cutting down everyone that pushes out into his sights. Otto trying to stay alive, gets a bubble pop back up. Transcendence in from Gido. Otto takes a heavy hit, but still going to be alive. Ivy dropping low here onto the point, getting closer to that next barrage. 70% coming online. Bombs out from Envy straight in onto the point. The Winston Bubble's going to be there to block this one out. Getting it down right into the main. Corey actually locks him up on the bridge. Yakpung going lower and lower. Giannis not able to stay alive. Envy finds the kill. The Helix rockets out from Asher, gets rid of the baby diva. The Washington Justice still holding Toronto Defiant at bay, with just seconds left in the time bank.
It has to be now. Soldiers still on the high ground. Asher needs to get that damage done. They need kills, and they're not getting them.
And they push their way through. Envy gets stunned up instantly, and Arc pops him out of the mech. Now the baby diva going to be eliminated as well. Yakpung just trying to hold on. Has an adaptive shield now expiring. They stun him here on the point. And a boost going to be thrown in, but that's not going to be enough to make him last. They finish off the hamster. They get rid of the soldier, and Washington Justice will actually hold it B.
Very well played here by both squads, but it's clutch plays by the Justice that save them in the end. They really eliminate that time bank massively with the hole at 99 on A, then 97 on B. Crisis management incredible against both tac visors Asher pulled.
Fantastically done. Now they basically just need to take B to take the game and tie us up.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. A very successful defense there on B for the Washington Justice. They gave up a lot of percentage, but they managed to get the hold. So now, 97.2% punch their way into a tied series.
Yeah, and now for the Defiant, it needs to be an even better defense. They want to take the 2-0 lead. They will match the same composition we've seen pretty much all day here, and what we've been seeing a lot on Hanamura in general. But let's see how the Justice approach this, because there are a few different schools of thought. We've seen the Hanzo I was describing earlier. We saw then Envy take the Sombra approach. And another approach we're seeing a lot is the attack Widow, which can, if the line of sight is good enough here for Corey, you can take out the enemy Pharah. It's much more realistic to hope for the Hanzo building up the ultimate charge, as he was using it to look for the solo pick at first. This Dragon Strike, once it's built, will force everyone on the Defiant to move out of their bunkered position, and that's when the chaos begins, and that's when the attacking team, for the first time, will have an advantage. And usually, the defending team identifies where the Hanzo is, tracks him non-stop, threatens him non-stop, makes it very difficult for him to build that charge.
Rockets coming down right around the corner there from Ivy, trying to get a bit of splash damage in onto the tanks, but a direct hit will do a lot more, as Giannis will be taken out. Sunsum trying to escape with the mech intact. Seems like it's not going to be able to happen. Will get popped out there in the end by Envy as he hounds him down.
And notice that immediately upon the Diva D-Mech, Ivy goes and kills the Hanzo. That is his primary target. He wants to prevent that ult charge. He wants to make sure that Corey is in the spawning room for their next push, because they delay so much this way. That's one of the most terrifying parts of this attack. And we'll see if this barrage here from Otto can open things up, but normally you want to save that for when that Dragon Strike is online. You have this Amp Matrix ready too, which can be very powerful at stopping that final push once it is ready.
Right now though, getting broken. Oh, Echo nearly getting picked off. Very well-timed immortality field there. Now going to be finished off. Otto able to find that. Gido's playing over onto the point, trying to get a back cap rolling through, but actually just pushes back through. Finds Ivy. Now Aid going to be taken down. Pharmacy dismantled for the side of the Defiant. That barrage was online. Their only ultimate to speak of at the moment as that amp field does get used. Yeah, Matrix rather. It's not something going to get picked out of that mech though. Asher trying to drag things back into their favor.
Dragon Strike.
A lot of damage coming through from Giannis. Asher going lower and lower. Configuration tank will get popped. They finally get the heals rolling in. Just needs to get some kills. Bubble blocking out a bit, trying to snipe Arc out of the sky. Unable to do so. But will be fairly healthy at the moment. Barrage coming in from Otto. They try to block that one out with the D-Matrix. Giannis, in the meantime, the Primal Rage comes with the kill on the Neko, but Gido's going to be on the trade. Not the Defiant. Not giving up anything yet.
That immortality field from Neko saved them from the Dragon Strike. That was absolutely huge. It didn't get caught. It wasn't destroyed. And they survived through that amazing play by Neko. And now they may be able to stabilize.
Corey trying to open things up, but Asher cuts him down.
They're going to stabilize here. Incredible. And once again, you know, it's all about whether you can make that immortality field work or not. And it's not fully figured out yet. Nobody is a perfect Batiste yet. It's way too soon. But Neko, despite his death earlier, rejoins the point, sets it up. They survive through that, you know, incredibly impactful ultimate. We were talking about how important it is to stop Corey from building it. He builds it, but it doesn't get the kills required. The healing comes through. Now, 1 minute away from a full hold here is Toronto Defiant. Corey's got another Dragon Strike, though. They need to be aware of this.
Gido's just going to be taken down. They left him all on his lonesome. A Bionade not going to be enough to keep that Ana alive. Barrage going to be used by Ivy. They try to finish him off. Actually does stay alive.
A bit unnecessary there. You could argue he was thinking that Sansa was not going to react quickly enough, but that was definitely not the case. That's a huge tool that the Defiant will miss, especially once this Dragon Strike comes through for Corey.
Amp Matrix still 35% away. Asher building up, just 15% away from that configuration tank.
Neko needs to place the immortality field behind the team so the Dragon Strike doesn't kill it on the way through. That's one of the more important parts, subtly, of Batiste right now. Here comes the Dragon Strike. He sees him.
Yeah,
he's tossing it.
Throws that one in. Trying to find a kill. That's going to be the Amp Matrix invested on the other side. No one going to be taken
Neko
down.
does it again.
Yeah.
He does it again.
Otto doesn't kill it off in time. Now the configuration tank ready to roll. Asher still biding his time at the moment. Will go ahead, starts popping things out. Spots Corey around the back, but gets sniped. Could that be it? Barrage comes in from Otto, but Ivy scoops the kill. Enemy going to be knocked out, but he's got the bomb.
Another immortality field.
Right back in. Immortality field used, as you say. Giannis goes forward, clears that one out. Yakung's dangerously low, but Ivy is still getting kills in the meantime. Gets rid of Corey, gets rid of Arc. How many more can this man get? Gets pushed off the backside of the point that has the barrage ready to go. Asher gets a double kill. And the Justice, their defense at B was impressive, but a full hold, it drops it.
In two huge immortality fields, saves his team against Dragon Strikes. He places it behind. It does not get destroyed. They live through that. They get to do their damage. He has a third one there on the point in the final fight. Absolutely incredible play from a hero that, you know, Neko's playing a hero that's only been in play for 2 days here in the Overwatch League. He makes it happen. That's what keeps this Bastion comp alive.
Well, it's sloppy, it's scrappy, but Defiant lead 2-0. Let's see if they can close it out when we come back after halftime.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. High ground or low ground, T-Mobile has you covered.
Toronto looking to keep things rolling here in stage 2, and they're off to a pretty good start. Up 2-0 over the Washington Justice at the half. And guys, welcome back. Malik here. I got Sideshow and Zoe here at halftime. Guys, right off the bat, I gotta say, Toronto, we have been learning a lot about them this year so far. I feel like we learned more in the first half from the Defiant. Saw some new looks, got to see some 76 from Asher, some Farah. It's been really cool watching them.
It definitely has. I think there's always a question mark around these expansion teams of whether or not they can react quickly enough when the patches happen.
Yes.
They don't have that experience of last year of being able to adapt to the patches. But the coaching staff of the Toronto Defiant, we all respect them. We know what they're capable of. And it looks like they're handling this stage pretty well so far.
Right. And specifically, I've been enjoying watching Ivy pop off. We got to see some new looks from him on Oasis, because we already knew he was a good Zarya right off the bat. Last stage he was definitely putting in, but then he brought out that Farah, and it was just like sick. This guy's really sick.
The guy's incredibly talented on a bunch of different heroes as well. His Genji is also superb. I think he's got a very deep hero pool, actually.
But it was also great to see Asher. We really haven't seen much of Asher in stage 1 so far, so it was great. I think this was maybe his first game.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Which is surprising because we saw him all last year. So
we thought that it wasn't, but apparently it was, and he did so well. He honestly looked really, really great on that Soldier. It was pretty much the Soldier and Ivy on that Farah, which carried the entirety of the team.
Indeed. Well, before we move on, I think it's time for our insights powered by Intel. Sideshow, you got something good for us today?
Well, yeah, because we've been seeing such awesome strategies with this Bastion-Batiste combo. So I'm going to try and break this one down for you. So the way that the Toronto Defiant tried to tackle it is by running this composition. They've got the Wrecking Ball and the 2 flankers along with the Farah Mercy. The general idea in the normal fight is that these guys are going to come over and play the point, but it's taken them all of this time. They've been able to do that and get up to 99%, but it's taken them a huge amount of time. So the flankers end up trying to play the point, and the Farah Mercy is just trying to break the Orisa shield. So the whole of the idea of the poke is to try and take down the Orisa shield, force a rotation around, and then they can actually fight them and surround them in this area. But the Washington Justice decide not to. Oh, and of course, the Farah, the idea of the defensive Farah is to try and kind of man-mark the other Farah to make sure that they can't go on these wild flanks. Now, this fight is a little different. They're not going to play it slow. They're not going to try and poke because they have the EMP available. But I want you to watch how the Washington Justice stop this EMP. With only 1 minute and 40 seconds left, it has to work. But as all of the ults get expended, these players kind of nip behind and hide inside the house at the top. And these ultimates here are absolutely pivotal. Addo gets in position to be able to use his barrage and also the self-destruct as well. So there's no chance that the Toronto Defiant can follow up on this. And this is one of the biggest issues with the breaking the Batiste Bastion composition is, yes, there are ways to counter it and surround it and take it down eventually, but oftentimes it comes down to one big ultimate push. And if you end up ruining it, it can become super difficult for you to be able to take it in the future. Now, Toronto did end up taking this fight. They'd already got 99%. They only needed a little bit more, but it wasn't actually in this engagement. It was in a future engagement. But you can see how things just hang by a tiny little thread here. And the Bastion Batiste composition, yes, it's a little bit cheesy, but just because by virtue of the amount of time it ticks off the clock and it all coming down to that one fight, if you can play a bit like the Justice there, or like you saw the Toronto Defiant play on their defense, it can be a very effective way to full hold Hanamura.
Right. And the Justice is looking significantly better this stage coming in. How do you think Arc's been affecting them?
I don't think it's just Arc, honestly. I mean, clearly, I think Wolf already mentioned it during the cast. Like, you can't expect Arc to come in and just fix everything. But their communication did look better. They did look more coordinated, honestly. Yeah. And I do think also Corey had a very, very good game there. Janice actually ended up with positive stats as well. He went 12 and 10 at the very end of this map. So overall, they look a lot better. Now it just has to come together a little bit more, and then they should be fine.
Now, one thing that I found very interesting is that last map, there were 18 total heroes played. We're getting a lot more variety this time around. Are you guys excited to see all these new looks?
Yeah, definitely. I think what I dislike, though, is trying to force it. Like the Toronto Defiant, when they're attacking point B, if they do that against a better team, like, sure, it doesn't matter in this game because you just full hold the Justice and you win. But against a better team, trying to force the Farah Soldier comp that they were running at the end.
You know, you make it sound so easy. Oh, you like, and then you win. Like, it was close. It was close. This could have gone either way. Same on at the beginning of Aces, at least. It could have gone either way. So they have to be a little bit more careful. Yeah. I for one, I was very happy to see more 2-2-2 being played again.
Bring back goats. That's what I say.
That's
show.
That's a hot take.
Come on, man. We need a little bit of time with some new variety. All right, so you said it. So things are a little bit close. It could have gone either way. What can the Justice do to clean things up here in the second half?
I think they need to work a little bit on their engagements. I very often feel like they have the idea of being aggressive, then they go in and then they kind of don't know what to do with the aggression they initially went in with. So I'm not sure if that's a lack of plan or I'm not even sure what to pinpoint it at.
I think with Ark being in the team for only a short amount of time now, I was expecting that to be the impact, the major impact that Ark would have. He is a shot caller. He's known for like his ability to be able to call in these matters. So I think probably just with a little bit more time and experience, they'll kind of fix that issue.
Well, they have a second half. They had about 5 minutes now. Is that enough time and experience?
No, I don't think it is. I don't think it is. But in the future, this should be looking like a slightly more well put together team.
All right. Well, that's good. We'll see them coming back and maybe making a better gameplay in the future. But guys, the Toronto Defiant, they're up 2-0. Can the Justice get back into this one? We're going to find out in just a bit. Stay tuned. They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Currently leading 2-0 are the Toronto Defiant. Washington Justice looking pretty good there. Moments on Hanamura, but unfortunately could not get a victory.
I mean, Neko having one of the best Batiste in terms of immortality field usage versus Dragon Strikes, setting up 2 of them. It's so difficult to place that because you actually have to place it in such a way that Dragon Strike doesn't destroy it on its way through, because it can destroy it before it hits the members that are standing behind it, right? So it's very tricky. Also, place it in such a way that it can't be destroyed by anything else, right? It doesn't actually have that many hit points, so really impressive stuff by Neko. We'll never know what the game plan was for point B for the Justice because they got the full hold.
Yeah, so an unfortunate loss for them. I think they were probably feeling pretty jazzed up after that defense during the Toronto attack, but it's not over yet. It's match point at the moment for Toronto Defiant. They could take a serious victory with the next win as we get ready to move forward into hybrid, but maybe they can claw it back. Maybe they can actually get a nice reverse sweep. be pretty impressive if they can pull that off. But we do have a substitution.
Here he is.
Gentlemen, taken to the stage for the very first time. Please give a warm welcome to I'm37 subbing in for Asher.
This guy started pro play in early March. He was on an open division team, then moved into the contenders team's second wind.
He already knows how to use the hand warmers, man. He's got it.
And now he's jumped into the Overwatch League, immediately picked up for a stellar replacement. We will be heading to Blizzard World for the next map. We saw Asher play quite a bit of Soldier 76. This is a map where, you know, anything can happen on A, and I think we will see potentially a lot of Junkrat Orisa or some Orisa Bastion there. But once you get past A, Widow's sight lines are massive, can run the Pharah. It's all going to be, I think this is the map that will lead to the most composition swaps in our map pool currently, potentially, because it's a very different structure from how you defend A, you know, our capture point, and then when you head into the push part, the payload part of this hybrid map, it gets a little bit more complex. And no one's going to know how to perfectly optimized play this one just out of the gates. It's our first one here of the 2019 season.
Always been a bit of a messy snap for teams. Very scrappy. This series has already been pretty scrappy, so I'm expecting it to read through. Toronto Defiant going to be kicking things off with this attack. Swap over from Aid onto the Mercy to be backing up Ivy in the sky. So triple DPS coming through. I'm37 on his debut. Going to be showing us what he's got with some Tracer action.
Very known for hit scan, Tracer and Genji as well. So see if he can showcase his high-level mechanics. That's what he was famous for, since he doesn't have much of a competitive history. Just his ladder play, his stream. There's highlight clips you can Google this guy and you're going to find a lot of frag videos. He's a very impressive player.
In the back, they're applying some pressure at the moment to the support line alongside Yakpung, but unable to find Gido. Too risky to get slept. Peel back for the moment. Yakpung's going to be using the third-person view. Pushing through, gets the pile driver in. Gido under some pressure. Sleep Dart will connect, but I'm37 gets his first kill. Now going to be using the recall just to get that HP top back up. Sees it, Sansum's down below half HP. How deep does he want to pursue? Knows there's a Bastion up top. Knows that they have to come to him, so we'll just play the point. They start ticking their way up too. Nearly gained for Toronto. Now working forward, duking it out with Otto. Jumps his way back through Immortality Field. Gonna get focused down very quickly. NB is there to scoop the kill, and the cap is just gonna be gained. Justice don't even make their way over. 5:20 on the clock. Toronto Defiant. The card's gonna get ready to roll out.
Yeah, if we talk about the ways you could break this composition, one of the ways is to simply avoid it, you know, and that's what they did. They used I'm37 on the Tracer to get onto the point, apply that pressure. He kills Gido, and now gets to sleep on an Echo. And then there's no way for the Justice to reposition. They're under too much threat, and they just can't even get onto the point, so they get the cap without killing anyone after that.
I mean, they're going all in on trying to hold right here. And Matrix not in a spot where Corey can really utilize it. I'm37 will take him down. The kills will continue to roll through for the Defiant. They get halted by about 40 seconds as they wait for the card to come out. They clean up the Justice. Now they can start the Streets phase. Justice is going to be swapping over, just looking for that 3-3.
I like Ivy on the Soldier here because as the attacking team, especially when you get a team wipe like that and everyone's swapping, there's no good way for the defending team to deal with a Soldier who's already got high ground positioning. And at the same time, if you're trying to close the distance, especially with something like a Winston, look, the tanks go through, guess what that means? That means the backline is free, and I'm37's getting in there.
Yeah, EMP gets a connection onto Ark and Gido. Neither going to be taken down, though. It's a bit of an odd turn of events.
You could see, though, that's what he was waiting for. The Diva goes in, the Winston goes in. Uh-oh, there's no peel for the supports. I'm looking for the kills.
Yeah, Gianna's going to be jumping in pretty deep. Ups the bubble now, going to start working his way back. Nano Boost going to be coming through with attack visor. Corey does not stand a chance. They try to get the D-Matrix in front of him, but still was just a bit too late. Sansum going to get popped out. Not the flashiest Nano visor we've ever seen, but the Helix Rocket's looking pretty darn good for Ivy on the back end. I'm37 will scoop a double kill with that pulse on Gido. Follow up onto the Winston, and the cart is just cruising along.
I think the Defiant have created a genius composition for this attack, and it's just one team fight that gets them this push. There's no ults for the Justice to deny. Arc was just going to look for a stagger here, or a delay rather.
Oh, he got a stagger.
Yeah, he got the stagger. He wanted the delay.
It's not quite what he wanted.
But this is really cool what the Defiant are doing because they're, utilizing the terrain of the map. And now's the time that if they want to, they can easily just swap the 3-3 themselves because this is the part of the map that goes into a third type of terrain where you don't have sight lines for a soldier, you don't have high ground, and so they're just going to completely swap it up. They had the Sombra halfway to an EMP, but why waste time with that? Just be efficient with the 4.5 minutes you have left on building these ultimates and trying to match those of the Justice. Defiant have clearly prepared for this map very well.
Yeah, a little bit more verticality around that last section here, the final corners you get ready to move into C. Maybe the Soldier 76 sticks around, but without that, seems like they will just be swapping it up, but I'm 37 gonna get punished, Otto. Because I'm more experienced with this Brig on this stage. Cuts him down to size. Justice gained control of the cart for the first time.
Yeah. This is going to be the moment where they have their Grav online, and with Neko having the late swap over to the Zenyatta, he doesn't have a Transcendence, so they can kind of continue to lap ult charge here over the Defiant if they can make this first Grav fight work efficiently. If this fails, though, the Defiant are looking at a great advantage in ults and a great time bank.
37 again, taking a lot of damage. We'll just get Tom's back up very slowly, but gets stunned up. Corey is there to beam him down. High energy at the moment here.
Corey, knowing that if he's on the high ground here, he's always going to have an opportunity for a Grav that can't be defense matrix, but also at the same time that at high energy, which he can gain at range by using a barrier for his teammates, that he could just keep lobbing shots at the Defiant. So by the time they close that distance, he's already done too much damage. They're already too low on health. However, Neko has the answer to the Graviton Surge now.
They're pushing in below, so Corey won't have
them.
the best sight lines here. Has to hop across the other side, takes a ton of damage. Does manage to make it out with his life, but loses out on the high ground. Energy dwindling now below 50. Can bump that up very quickly, though. He's holding on to both bubbles. 5 ultimates held for the Justice. Defiant trying to build up their own. Working their way up towards 6. They just have it 12 on the board. The cart, however, getting a lot of free distance as the Justice play back over onto C.
It's going to be a 12-ult fight, Achilleos. Get ready. It's going to be about the efficiency. Whoever uses the ult second usually can have that advantage. Eden, though.
Grab's going to be taken away. Envy does it again. He'll get knocked to the ground there by Giannis's shatter, but it's not going to lead to any kills. Sound barrier comes through from A to keep them all topped up. Yakpung going to be dropping the hammer. Not going to find anyone, however. And still no one dying yet. But as I say that, I'm 37 going to be the first casualty in the fight as they continue. Just going to be that self-destruct held. Envy throwing it in deep, looking for a pickoff, unable to find it. So despite the gravity coming through, Toronto Defiant not going to be able to push into C yet.
As the dust settles, 12 ults are used in this fight, but the more efficient ults come through for the Justice. Corey does massively more damage, wins the Zarya matchup. He now holds another Graviton Surge. And so for the Defiant now, they have to get into this position where they can perhaps force a fight where they can get a single kill before the fight really takes off, or they just have to get Neko into sight lines to get the last part of his Transcendence. But either way, they are losing valuable time. They had such a massive time bank that's diminished by 3 minutes.
Well, this time the Grav is going to find a connection over onto the cart, so Corey not getting that one taken away, and Yakpung going to be eliminated right off the bat. Envy and Aid. Everybody really on the side of the Defiant taking so much damage and likely not to make it out with their lives.
Defiant took the aggressive approach. They decided to try to force a fight, hope to get an ult exchange in their favor. They did. Corey used the Grav now. Ivy's going to have his. But, the fact of the matter still stands. They lost time for this. And what Justice will probably do is try to take a fight now away from the cart against the Grav they know Ivy has. Sansam's at the ready, far forward here. We're actually going to take a more defensive stance. This is an opportunity for the Defiant to close this distance and get a time bank here.
Shatter online. Can he line it up? King forward, trying to find that perfect moment when the shield goes down from Yakpung. Just absolutely nail everybody on the side of the Defiant. Grab's going to be coming out. Shatter going to be looking pretty good. I'm 37 going so low. Transcendence down from Neko to try to keep him alive, and Ark's going to get pinned by Yakpung. So good opening kill. Shatter, that's going to be massive. Everybody from the Justice going to be knocked on their rears. I'm 37 finds Otto, now Gido, Giannis, I name more. All going to be taken out. Bomb desperately dumped in by Samsam to try to find a pick. Unable to do so. The baby was killed off. They will roll in with style. A bomb on the cart. They get the finish here on Blizzard World.
Very important to note, they also did it with the time bank there, not in overtime. So no fear here going forward that they will be at a situation where the draw is all they can hope for.
11 seconds, all that was remaining there for the Defiant. So dwindling it down a lot. Justice again looking very good on these defensive holds. We'll have to see how they fare this time on attack when we come back.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Toronto Defiant able to make it to the end of Blizzard World, but considering the start, considering how much time they had in the bank, 5+ minutes, that dwindled down to 11 seconds.
I'm 37 coming in his debut, great on the Tracer, solid, Brigitte play there as well. You know, the guy landed late last night to LA, so he has not even been here for 24 hours. He sits down next to, Yakpung, Ivy, two players who've been to a grand finals before. But the guy is fitting in. We're going to take a look at Yakpung's shatter here. As you can see, in the chaos, he sees this one moment where look at Giannis's to the left. He knows there's no way the shatter can be blocked, so that's when he places it.
And slow-mo's perfect there, because that's how you feel when you're a Reinhardt player. You just actually get that moment. The eye of the Kaiser.
Time slows down.
Yeah, time slows down. You see everyone falling in slow motion as they hit the ground. But Toronto Defiant now on the defense, had a full hold on Hanamura. Can they replicate that again here on a Blizzard World with Hybrid? They themselves going to be looking at a bunker composition. Ivy is on the Bastion. I'm 37 with the Widowmaker.
That's right, and that's one of his most iconic heroes. And only, in the short time of pro plays have it also on his stream and in solo queue. Corey looking for this Hanzo Dragon Strike again. Remember, last time it was shut down by Neko's Immortality Field on Hanamura. Let's see if that happens again. They're taking a different approach than what we saw from the Defiant, where they tried to use the Tracer to avoid this composition, get on the point and put pressure in that way and threaten the supports. It's going to be slow and methodical. Hey, that's why they shut down an Immortality Field.
Yeah, okay. Just make sure you can't even use it. Corey finding a nice little headshot there onto Neko.
And he's close to that Dragon Strike.
Yeah, pushing forward. Storm Arrow's going to be out. Giannis is there to scoop up the kill. Ivy going to be taken down now. Yakpung also going to be dead. So it seems like a very fast cap coming in for the Washington Justice. I'm 37 does manage to get a close range snipe. Finally shut down that Hanzo, but the res is available. They're in onto the point, and Justice themselves will be establishing a very nice time bank at the start.
Heroic play by Corey. And, this is one of the things everyone loves about this new meta. It's not just that it's not 3-3 versus 3-3 all the time, but sometimes you get to see a wider range of skill from a player that, if you've only watched Overwatch League, you would only associate with Zarya, right? In this case, you get to see Corey is actually a very skilled Hanzo player, not only building this Dragon Strike, but getting solo picks that defined this push, and also the time bank that comes with it. He gets to hold the Dragon Strike now, and that's massive for taking control at this point.
A decent tag there onto Ivy, instantly forcing out the recall. Wall's going to be up for I'm 37. Gonna duke it out. The Storm Arrow's not quite getting the connection. He's going to get nanoed up and actually finds the shot. Corey is in the house. Takes him down. Looking for a little bit more. It's going to be another one. The Sonic Arrow in on the arrow. Takes him down. Gets Neko. Corey, you are a monster.
He slept here, but no one's sleeping on Corey right now.
I mean, monsters got to take a nap every now and then. The dragon sleeps Corey.
Man.
He's just rested. He's getting ready for the next volley.
Well, the thing is, in a lot of different teams, you'd probably, just toss the Dragon Strike out and swap. But Corey says, no, I'm having too much success with this.
It's working.
The Sonic Arrow swap there, that was pretty sick. And now here's the Dragon Strike. Here's the swap.
Yeah, it's going to be throwing that one through. Takes down Aid. The follow-up shot after the Dragon Strike. Card isn't advancing.
This is basically a spawn camp we're witnessing right now.
I mean,
he's not even gonna swap.
They're trying to get the payload to move, but Ark's been left by himself on the payload. Okay, Storm Arrow's out. Ivy's gonna be dead.
The Corey show.
He gets a shot on the Aid. Oh man, where has this been? Well, now it's gonna be dead. Yakpung comes in, gets a pile driver, follows up for a double. They will be able to stabilize here.
Not to shatter anyone's dreams.
It's been some fun moments so far, and it seems like Corey. Maybe not changing it. Maybe sticking through.
This was always going to be kind of doomed to.
Oh, now he's going to Widow.
This was always kind of doomed to eventually fizzle out, right? He had his crazy moment there, but now we need something that's more relevant. The problem with running the Widow here as the attacking team, you don't have control of this archway, is you don't have line of sight. And I'm 37 will always have the advantage as the defender here in that Widow v Widow fight, and now Ivy has free reign to fight Gido in that moment. So I think that the Justice may actually just have to swap the 3-3.
That was interesting. Not sure what Giannis was doing. No one was nearby the card.
No.
Everyone's back at spawn.
So
trying to go for a back cap maybe.
Now I think you just want to get some more information about where everyone was. Like, I think that Corey has to either go for a crazy flank, something risky, or this just isn't going to work, unfortunately. It's not about his skill here, it's just about physics, There's a kill.
Okay, things have slowed down. Pulse bomb stick, however, going to be coming through. Ivy gets rid of Arc. Still, decent hold for the Defiant as they continue to drain down the clock. 2:25 going to be remaining. Otto, however, manages to open things up.
This is the opening they need.
Widow. Now Ivy going to be winning out in that duel. Gets rid of the enemy Tracer, but Envy going to get picked off by Corey.
And now the tables have turned. Corey has line of sight advantage. He needs to get some more kills. There's one onto Ivy.
Okay. Ivy going to be taken down. Hart starting to inch forward again here. Toronto Defiant not leaving it. They're playing very close by. Corey, low ground, very aggressive Widow positioning at the moment. Could get punished.
Yep.
Wraps back around the other side. Neko going to be eliminated. Sansam able to find the kill. Soundberry a little bit too late from Aiden, trying to keep him alive. And Envy, I believe he got slept. Gets taken down by Otto in the end. Corey pops the walls, wrapping around the side, has a perfect shot on the I'm37. He was not ready for it. Tries to line up Aiden. Giannis gets a pile driver, will be able to finish off the kill. To bump the time bank back up above 3 minutes as they go for the final stretch of Blizzard World.
Once you get around that archway and you're out in the open, you have free reign as a Widowmaker player to out-duel your opponent. In this case, he has to duel against, you know, quite a recently famous Widow in I'm37. But he does the flanking, he does identify where he is with the ult advantage he has, you know, using that infrasight there. And that's all this was about. They struggle to get through, but that opening pick allows them to get in there. And now the cart advances. They'll swap composition here because this is basically, you have to run this, or some variation of this, in this narrow choke.
Well, Nano Boost going to be thrown down onto Yakpung as he pushes forward. Nice boop. Pushes Corey into the enemy team as well as Giannis. They will be able to find both of those kills as well as a knockout on Sansam's mech. Nearly a team wipe coming through for the Defiant as they charge forward.
The big trump card for the Defiant they hold that Justice could not have possibly had, because they swapped late, is the EMP. Otherwise, it's a pretty even race to ults here. Yakpung having a slight advantage over Giannis, but otherwise we're pretty even. The EMP, though, is kind of like the cheat card here to get you a massive advantage, because this EMP can lead to a grab, the grab leads to another advantage, and suddenly it's tough to finish C. MB is looking for this angle. He's being extremely patient, does not want to reveal his position.
Yeah, they've been trying to spot him out, but just around this corner, the Diva unable to get some shots in.
Arc needs to hit that sound barrier when this comes out.
They start pushing their way through, and going to be using it. Sound barrier is there from Arc, as you say, but Giannis healed the night. Takes a lot of damage in the shatter from Yakpung. It'll be absolutely huge. Gido's still going to be using the Transcendence, pushing forward. So far, it's only going to be the Lucio lost on the side of the Justice. But with the grab coming in, 2 more kills going to be going over the way up Defiant as they maintain control of this choke. And Giannis and No Man's Land will just get finished off here at the end.
Really nice play by Yakpung to hit the shatter after the barrier is so crisp from Arc. Just finding another win condition in this fight. They get the grab. And now, even though there's an advantage in terms of grabs here between these two teams, they have to use it so far away from C. Like, this is not the goal. The goal is not to turn this corner. The goal is to put the cart on C, and they've got to get baby steps forward here to make it happen.
Well, 100 energy going to be there for Corey as he pushes forward. The grab's going to be looking pretty darn good because he gets himself a triple kill. I'm37 trying to hold out hope, and he will get taken down. That's going to be the effective wipe about coming through. Envy managing to stay alive. He's in the back, but he's nearly got the EMP.
But it's not time to party yet if you're a Justice fan, because that was to get them around this corner. Now the EMP from Envy is ready. Ivy's closer to the next grab. This is the real challenge where they're going to have to win a fight down on ultimates, and I'm not sure if they could do it, especially with an EMP being the big key factor here. If he finds these supports, I mean, look, they don't even have support ultimates.
Gido in a rough spot. Translocate up over the top. EMP going to be used. Yakpung will find the kill there onto Otto, so already 2 eliminated with 8 seconds remaining. Arc taking some damage. Corey going to be taken out. This could just be the finish of the series. Somebody's got a tag. Looks like it's going to be Sansam. He gets so much damage from Ivy, who is just sitting there on the cart. Says, yep, what of it? Come to me. I will take you down. Takes him out. Sansam, he gets rid of the grab. But to what avail? None. OT will tick away, and the Toronto Defiant will be able to close this out. A 3-0 series so far with 1 more map to be played.
Envy with the EMP, he held it long, he played the Sombra for longer. He was playing for the later game, and that's the extra tool they had to hold them at the choke and get that ult advantage. Yakpung comes up clutch with the shatter, and even though Corey has a fantastic grab, it's not at point C where they need it to be, it's earlier. The cart moves too slowly, and Defiant will take the series. Great start for I'm37, the rookie player from Second Win.
Well, 1 chance to get a map victory when we come back from the break. Let's see if Justice can pull it off.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. High ground or low ground, T-Mobile has you covered.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Toronto able to close out the series with a 3-0. Still escort to be played, where Justice can try to draw one map back into their favor, mitigate their losses. But Toronto looking pretty darn good. Corey, especially on the side of the Justice.
Solid Hanzo.
Very wonderful.
Yeah, solid Hanzo, but it wasn't ever going to be enough to push through that second part. They swapped over to the Zarya, Reinhardt, right, the 3-3. But on the other side, Envy had already been thinking ahead about knowing that this comp was going to be swapped. They got staggered there, so he was able to swap the Sombra earlier, build the EMP, and that was really the big game changer, that he had that extra tool. That was, you know, I like to call it that kind of like the cheat code. You get to cheat ult economy with the EMP, and there's no way the enemy team could take a proper fight against your EMP, and then you get to catch up on ultimates no matter where you're at. And when you're even, it gets even worse.
Yeah, I mean, just rough stuff there with the EMP coming through. Maybe if they had gotten the kill on the Sombra, they could have pushed it forward a little bit further, maybe try to win that fight. But it was just rough tidings as soon as you see that Ivy has that ready to go. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at Corey, not for the Hanzo, but on the Zarya going up against Ivy, where their stats on that in the series so far.
Yeah.
Because it has been pretty good. We saw that triple kill coming through for Corey right at the end. It was looking good, but it wasn't enough to get the finish.
When you look at these two players, obviously you're going to notice that in terms of time played, that's the big thing that we have to point out, is about 1.5 minutes extra for Corey, so that explains additional damage taken. But in terms of hero damage done in much less time, Ivy is able to do a lot more. And that's not necessarily because he's straight up outplaying Corey in the Zarya v Zarya. There's a lot of external factors, like the fact that, you know, Corey stayed on Hanzo so long. There's also the fact that Ivy was able to then do damage during the EMP, build that additional Graviton Surge. So, you know, the team played around the Sombra in the later parts of that map. Ivy wins out in this matchup, less time played, less deaths as well. Kind of, that's one of the other attributing factors that you see with the time there. But I gotta say, you know, it's exciting always to see Corey on a different hero than the Zarya, you know, and that's what this meta is really going to show. Is Zarya is played by DPS players, like, period, in this meta. So when you're not running Zarya, a lot of teams picked up Zarya players, especially new expansion teams, because they're like, well, this is the meta.
Yeah.
What's going to set those DPS players apart is going to be how well, when they're not playing Zarya, how well they play the other heroes, and Corey's already showcased quite a bit of that.
Yeah, need to be able to have that flexibility. We do have some substitutions, though, coming in to this final map. To go ahead and take a look, it's going to be Roki joining us on stage, subbing in for Aid.
Yeah, so we got to see, you know, the whole rounds of this new Toronto roster that's got I'm37, Stellar's departure, his retirement. So Roki's going to get some playtime here. The series is over, but the map differential is not.
It is not. We'll go ahead and take a look. Our final map of this series going to be Junkertown. Already a lot of Bastion coming through from both of these teams. This is going to be one of the best maps to possibly play it on, so expect a lot more Pharah, a lot more Bastion.
And in terms of, you know, the strategy we saw with the I'm37 on the Tracer on Blizzard World, you can't really do that here on this map because there's no point. You actually have to, as the attackers, stay on the payload yourselves. There's no backcapping, there's no threatening with fast-moving heroes. This is all going to be about a lot of Bastion, a lot of flanking, a lot of Widowmaker especially is so key and always has been key historically on Junkertown. So I'm37 versus Corey, you know, we talk about the Zarya players who flex off of the Zarya now as the meta is shifting. How well does Corey stack up against, you know, the rookie I'm37? Corey himself, also a rookie, but he's got a whole stage of experience under his belt. That's the exciting matchup for me heading into this one.
A couple last second changes coming in for the fight. We're showing the Hog for a second, but Neko will be moving back over onto the Batiste. Double sniper setup for the Washington Justice on this defense. With Otto on the Hanzo this time, Corey back on Widow.
Very early immortality field here. We're going to stick with this composition. It's very difficult to break without a flank from Corey. And I'm37 is always hounding him, so it's tough to actually get away with this.
Yeah, right now, it's pushing forward, trying to figure out where exactly everyone's hiding.
Corey is flanking right now. This is what I'm talking about. That's how you can get the kills. He comes around the side when he's not trackable.
Yep. Immortality field used at the moment, helping to keep Roki alive. Corey under some pressure, though. Going lower and lower. They're trying to pocket him back up. Oh, grapples in. Nearly lands in the middle of the squad. Otto will be able to find Ivy. The 937 gets rid of that enemy Hanzo. Res going to be coming through from both sides. Otto and Ivy put back into the mix. The cart's still going to be advancing. Ivy not quite behind the barrier. Has to readjust for a moment. What 37 still taking pot shots in the back.
What you're relying on with the double sniper as the defender here is either getting picks or building the Dragon Strike. They've done neither so far as this card approaches A. Otto is so close, and yet so far.
Dangerously close there on that shot onto Arc, but Gianna's still going to be cut down. Ivy finished off by the Storm Arrows. 37 trying to line up a shot. Missing a lot here, though. Makes a massive tag. It's a peel back for the moment, but the pocket comes back through. Corey, however, picks up a double. Neko and I'm 37 both going to be eliminated.
This is defendable.
Widow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it certainly is. Corey, not sure what happened here, but Otto, in the meantime, does manage to find a kill on the Akplung, and the Supercharger as well will be taken down.
Imagine a grapple mishap here. The Defiant really need to stabilize here. They're hoping they can flip this with a tank. And you know what?
It's going to be a double kill coming in, looking for a little bit more.
I don't know about this one.
Yeah, Transcendence does come through, but now it's going to be the Matrix thrown down as he enters into Sentry, spamming it out. You got to get the heck out there. Not going to be blown up.
Oh
it's
my
on
God.
some self-destruct. The cart is going to go ahead and glide, and it's going to get the res on the Envy.
We're going to take a look at this death here from Corey, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Just steps back a bit too far, doesn't have grapple. But that was incredible from Ivy. The decision to keep tagging the point and to come through, it looked foolish at first until we understood fully the plan was Ivy's going to come in with the tank, hope to get some blow-up kills. Extremely risky. He gets 2. It's still a losing fight until Neko drops the amplification matrix, and then Ivy just, I mean, the damage was insane. Dragon Strike here not really getting much.
Yeah, it does push them away from the cart. Actually, I'm 37 going to be taken down. And they managed to get Ivy as well, so no more DPS for the side of the Defiant. We'll be trying to peel back, but yeah, Neko out of his immortality field, no HP. We'll get picked off for a nice little finishing stagger, and Washington Justice can try to control this choke.
Yeah, this is when it becomes pretty difficult to utilize Bastion. We're going to see Halt Hooks instead. As I see that. Oh, yeah, we're still going to see it. Neko's just teasing us. And Ivy has insane barrier busting potential with his Storm Arrows and pick potential as well.
Bomb going to be thrown up over the top by Envy, looking for somebody, but doesn't find any targets. Ivy going to be taken down. It's on some. Doesn't manage to find that takeaway, so 1 fewer DPS. Neko, however, with a hook, manages to get Otto, and Ivy's going to be res back in, so now advantage over to Defiant if they can keep Yakpung alive, which it seems like is going to be possible. Giannis has to peel his way back. Corey will be clicking heads, gets rid of Roki. He's trying to find I'm 37, missing those shots. And Envy and Ivy rather wrap around the backhand side to get rid of it.
Yeah, this is going to be control of the cart now to the Defiant. They haven't transcended the Justice do. They're using the Valkyrie, but this is a bit early, you have to argue. And now, a Dragon Strike coming through late. This is a big mess.
Yeah, dueling dragons, like ships passing in the night. Bomb's gonna be coming through. Sansan unable to find anything, but makes it back in successfully. Otto snipes out. Yakpung, now Neko gone. Tank line pretty shattered at the moment for the Defiant. Only gonna be reliant on Envy, but Ivy does manage to find Otto.
The thing is,
he himself going to be taken down. This is just chaotic.
Well, the thing is that even though the Justice regained control of this cart on B, you have to wonder, did they use too much to do so? Because the Defiant are coming back with a lot of tools. I'm37 is going to have line of sight advantage with the Impresight. He's going to have all the vision to gain that advantage. Whole Hog here to help contest the point, and eventually the Dragon Strike. So they used both support ultimates, and that's the big concern I have about what the Justice just did. Got him a defense, but for how long is the question. Here comes the flanking Hog. This could be a pick into a Whole Hog. Oh, missed it.
Yeah, throws it right into the doorway, so a lot of damage coming through. Arc going to be taken down, as is Corey. Regardless of the missed hook, Neko pops the Whole Hog, but Sansan scoops the kill. Dragon Strike, however, will knock him out of the mech, and Ivy will also be able to find Giannis. So the Justice suffering heavy losses. This is likely just going to be the cart rolling through into B.
Neko is just playing so well on this Hog, too. I mean, look, he misses the hook, and just clips the wall there, but then gets the big damage there with his right clicks and comes through and gets the double kill that's required to really open this up when there's no sustained healing with both the support ultimates being used in the previous fight. Still bought a lot of time for the Justice here, but let's see how long the Hog gets value, because it's a lot tougher to flank in this area because it's more wide open, and the Justice are not going to be playing that far forward.
Well, he's trying to look for an angle. They're going to be thrown down here on this corner, however, so finding a hook going to be very difficult. Dragon Strike through. It's a decent bit of damage, tickling the tanks on the side of the Toronto Defiant, but not leading to any kills. But Envy with a bomb will get rid of Giannis and his ult.
Yep, and the Sansa mech, you know, there in the end. So threading the needle on that bomb there. There's no way out for the Justice. They're all caught in their own choke point that they were trying to set up. Now we're seeing the swaps come through, but it's a bit late.
Yeah, building up. This much time remaining can prove difficult. Need to find some stability here. Hulk going to be coming out, but Otto's got the shield range.
I'm 37, complete line of sight. Like, there's no one to stop him. Ivy as well. Here comes the Dragon Strike.
Back, yep, Dragon Strike going to be coming through. Bomb going to be tossed up into the air. Sansa looking for the pick. Manages to find Yakpung, and Giannis follows up onto Roki. So decent start. The cart's still advancing. You hear that whole Hulk coming in from Neko again. It's going to be leading to his death. So let's get taken out in the end. We'll see if he swaps off the Hawk. I think it's going to happen.
You know, I mean, he is going to swap. This is going to be... I actually kind of like it if Ivy stays on the Hanzo, because he's going to switch to the Zarya. They're going to need to win this fight without ults. You know, they're not going to build them in a minute either, especially with no support ults. So Washington Justice is going to have the lead. If there are any ults used, it's going to be from the Justice's side. I think they needed burst damage. I think they needed Comp to get a pick, and this isn't it. So I think the Justice have a great shot at stopping the C completion.
Well, Giannis dropping down, getting closer to that primal range, 10% away. Yakpung with the recent swap does get a lot of charge. So, decent beginning for him, but they have to make their way over onto the card. 34 seconds remaining to try to advance this to get the finish.
Notice the ults here. The Justice are getting much, much closer to finishing theirs. 30 seconds left to go. Ivy not even half the grab. That's the concern I have with this.
Certainly possible. Ivy pushing forward, zapping away. Yakpung taking a lot of damage. Giannis is in the back. Has the primal ready to go. Will go ahead, pop that one, trying to knock a couple members of the Defiant forward into the rest of the Washington Justice to try to get some kills. Seems like it's going to be Envy's mech, the first casualty coming through. Transcendent's going to be coming out now. Neko trying to keep this team topped up. Gido going to be matching with a trans of his own. Sound barriers nearly up for both these squads. That's going to be the grab coming in. Sansa going to be locked up for it, going to be taken down, but not before he can get Neko. The sound barrier comes in Roki, however, and they start advancing. The kills coming in. Sansa going to be popped out. Giannis rejoins. Sound barrier going to be in from Arc. 4 members remaining as they wait for the reinforcements. The cart still slowly inching forward. Can they stop this? Or can Toronto Defiant get the finish here on Junkertown? A lot of damage going through on Giannis. He's got to kite his way back around the corner, but it's nearly got another primal range to buy a bit more time. Bomb comes down from Envy. Otto's got the shield up, blocks that one out. Sansa, however, going to be taken down. Giannis playing forward, primal rage coming out. OT plummeting. No one can get back in time. Knocks them away just enough to get the defense.
One of the huge problems for why this was almost a C cap was, I believe, you know, it looks to me like one of the biggest issues was Giannis' early primal. He committed in when there were about 25 seconds left instead of using it to contest the card. And then the sound barrier that came through from Roki as Ivy was just barely getting his grab online was perfect. Ivy comes in with massive energy, does a ton of damage, and they almost turn this around. In the longer fight, though, with good play from the supports, Giannis builds a second primal, and the second primal is the knockoff when the overtime is going to tick that quickly that stops the completion there. So, you know, one primal, not so much what they were looking for, but the second one is the charm here, and it's still, you know, going to be, you know, tough to actually prevent the same from being done for the Justice. The Divine are not done yet, even though this was a solid push. They didn't get C, which is common on this map. They're now going to have to play a pretty solid defense themselves. I'm 37 versus Corey has kind of been the matchup, right, especially on point A. We saw a lot of flanks from both Widowmakers. In terms of damage done right now, Corey is leading. But remember, he was the defender, and the defender will always have that advantage. Let's see what happens now that we are switching sides here.
Well, defense overall has been pretty good for the Justice. You know, we're unable to deny the completion on Blizzard World, but at least drain that clock down significantly. So that has been better than their attacks overall. But we'll see how they fare this time out. Maybe it's the third time as the charm for the Justice on their attacks. Couple of rockets coming out from Gido. Rare DPS performance from him. And now going to be showing us the Roadhog.
Yeah, it's usually the Zenyatta's or the flex supports that will swap over to Roadhog. Very popular in China and Korea many, many seasons ago in contenders, and popularized by Humbaba. But
oh, hello! Oh no! It's not what you wanted! It's like a horror movie! Neko just waiting.
Oh man.
Read him like a book.
That was insane. He's seen a few Widows fly through the sky in his time. He knows the animation speed. Got him. Well, that's going to put a damper on your first push. And now, you know, Corey has to respawn, which means that he comes out of a more predictable pathing location. So getting the flank off is that much more difficult. That's what he was trying to do previously, but Neko had his number. See if he can get it this time.
Starting to work their way back up to the cart. Corey does manage to find one, but Corey going to be hooked back in, but they have the backup from Sansum to help take Neko down. The res will be coming through from Roki, puts I'm 37 back on the map. Dragon Strike rolls in. Just touching Corey there on the shoulder.
He's behind them right now.
He's going to be okay. EMP going to be used by Envy. Does manage to catch 4 members on the side of the Washington Justice, but it's still going to be Justice coming up with the kills. Otto taking out I'm 37. Roki now eliminated. Envy with a sliver of HP. Does make it out with the translocator.
And this is looking great for the Justice.
Yeah, fantastically done so far.
They're going to control this choke point right now, too, so that no one can come over and delay this. Auto dies for it, but it doesn't matter because no one can touch the point, so very well played. And now Corey continues to try to, you know, control line of sight. It's going to be tough now, especially because I'm 37 is going to use the infra sight.
Both matched.
Yes.
So both teams with that infra sight up, but
right.
Barriers established on the high ground, so sniping anybody up there for Corey, it's just a non-factor, rather.
Now they've expired, he can try to peek out.
Bomb out from Sansum, manages to find Ivy, good pick. On the start here, can Roki get a res? The question might be a bit too dangerous of a position for him to go for it. Seems like that's going to be the case. We have not seen that one come through. Ivy swapping over onto the far, but Yakpung going to be taken down. Roki pushing forward, has the barrier to keep him safe, so can get the Orisa back in. Now the supercharger going to be dropped in as he moves his way onto the low ground. Gido, however, whole hall going to get popped. Looking for a target, just has to focus that supercharger at range, but the accuracy, it turns out, on a Hog Ultimate, not going to be the best. But the hook accuracy, looking pretty darn good. Managed to find Envy, the left click's coming through. They will knock him out of that mech.
Widow versus Pharah here. Corey had no health.
5 HP. One more bullet, really, from Corey, and he would have been able to take that one down, but things still look great for the Justice. They clean up some kills here.
And it's much easier said than done to actually go through that choke as an attacking Widow and find those shots, and Corey did it. He got taken out there in the end, but he did his job. Gido gets the hooks after the halts from Giannis. You know, you talked about the hook accuracy. It's pretty easy, actually, when there's a halt to draw him in. And they've got total control right now. I mean, the Defiant need to regroup, and I don't know if they'll ever really regain sightlines here. And it's unfortunate. When you get to B, that's when everyone swaps over to 3-3. So they lost this matchup in terms of the snipers as the defenders, and that's extremely unusual. And that's the reason why the Washington Justice come with such a massive time bank. They can try to match here. It looks like they want to still, but I think you've got to swap the 3-3 right now, and that's what they're eventually going to do. There is a reason why the Justice have not swapped yet. It's because they have those massive ultimates, which were just highlighted. The Dragon Strike being the big one here, and that can get you a lot of free distance. This is a massive time bank, 4 minutes.
I mean, 6 ults here for the Justice. The infra sight just to get some reveal. Oh, and from behind, Gido. It's a great hook. Now the whole hog coming out. Envy going to be knocked out of the mech. Did not stand a chance. Gido with a flank from above. Reminiscence of Taimu back in the Apex days in Season 1. Corey gets a double snipe, making a triple as Yakpung gets taken down. And Toronto Defiant, they're completely in shambles at the moment here on Junkertown with this defense.
Yeah, and they just don't have ults. They don't have time to build them either because the Justice are actually controlling this map so much through the Widow and the Hog. Like, Rogi can't even get out of this location.
I can hear the frustration in your voice. You know that he's feeling it.
He's feeling it, man. Like, dodging a hook and a Widow shot at the same time.
The 1-2 punch there from the snipers. Corey sets it up. Another headshot there on a Yakpung, just chunking out everybody. Roki comes around the side with a poison trap of all things, gonna be taking him down. Ivy trying to match now, but Corey gets another one on the Envy. The bomb thrown in. Sansum just trying to zone him out. Corey looking for another angle, spots him. He takes out Neko, and this could be it. Ivy gonna be eliminated. It's just time 37 all on his lonesome at the moment, trying to keep control of this cart. He's gonna get taken down. Envy swaps over to the Genji. It doesn't matter. Roki sniped out. Corey is on fire, and they will be able to get the finish here on Junkertown. They will scoop up a map win at the end. They cannot get the series, but they spare their blushes.
And you know what? For a team that's had so much adversity, tonight it feels like it's Corey's night. It's his night to prove that he's more than just a Zarya player. For Toronto, they win the series. They get to showcase their new rookie player in I'm 37. They look solid. They look very well prepared on the maps they played. This is the sniper matchup that wins it out for the Justice in the final map. The series still goes to